What's going on, everyone? Back again with another PKD Jynarque video. I know it's been a while since my last video, and yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for all your comments and your support, and just the positivity around this kind of debilitating disease. And I really am glad to see that there's a bunch of people out there who are in the same predicament that I am, who are struggling with polycystic kidneys. And I'm glad we can have this space to hopefully just learn more, find strength in our experiences, and hopefully I can just share some of my knowledge and things that I've learned, and just to help you guys if you are considering going on Jynarque too. I'm going to go through now some of the questions that you guys have asked on my video, and I'd just like to point out I am not a medical expert. I'm just a guy who lives with PKD. I've been on Jynarque for maybe almost a year, maybe a little under a year. So don't take this as strict medical advice. Definitely talk to your doctor, your nephrologist before doing anything. But these are just my experiences and what I learned being on Jynarque. So I've posted my first PKD video back in March of 2019. It is currently December 5th of 2020. A lot has changed with the world, my life as well. So I think at that point in the video, I was probably on Jynarque for maybe like a couple 5-6 months. So I've stopped taking Jynarque completely as of probably around March of this year, maybe February, March of 2020. I think a lot of things were changing in my life. I started a new job. I was kind of getting more into fitness, so I was working out a lot more. I think it was also just that was when I guess the lockdowns really started to happen, and it was just kind of stressful to go into the doctor's office to get my, I think it was at that point it was like once every 3 or 4 months I would see my doctor. The reason I stopped taking Jynarque was I guess more or less the liver damage that is a known side effect of taking Jynarque, and I necessarily didn't have, I think, full-on liver damage, but I think my doctor did notice some liver abnormalities, and he wanted to just kind of make sure it wasn't anything to be worried about. And I guess the reason for that was because I was just working out so strenuously that it was causing some enzyme to be excreted into, I guess, the bloodstream, and that was kind of getting mistaken as a liver enzyme in the blood tests. And it was I still don't really understand the whole terminology and everything that went on, but essentially what was happening was I was just working out too much, where I guess it was excreting an enzyme that was affecting my liver, and with me being on Jynarque, I guess it kind of complicated things. And I didn't think I was working that hard. I was just doing it was a 100 burpee a day challenge. I was trying to just push myself, motivate myself, and for my mindset, the healthier you are, and the harder you work out, the healthier you are, right? So I've always tried to tell myself, okay, be healthy, work out, eat right, and for the doctor to kind of tell me that what you're doing is wrong. This is you can't work out, don't do it, or don't do it as hard. It was just tough for me to hear, right? It's like I like to push myself to the limit, and health has been a forefront in my mind for as long as I can remember. So just, just hearing that, I can't work out or can't work out hard was, I guess, something I didn't want to hear. And I think it was that coupled with the fact that he wanted to see me more often. So the copay every time I had to visit him was like $50. And it was like $50 once a month. And not that that's a huge fee in the grand scheme of things, but it just felt like it was unnecessary, right? Like I felt fine, I felt healthy, and it was, for the most part, they were just standard like blood check, blood tests, and he would just look me over and say, okay, you're good. And I just felt like for $50, that was just a waste of me going. He was also located kind of far away from me, so just having to trek in, pay 50 just for him to tell me you're good, didn't sit well with me. And I think, yeah, me also being at a new job, I was stepping out of my old routine into a new routine where I'm commuting into the city more, I'm moving around more, so I wasn't able to, I guess, have the same Jynarque routine that I used to have. So all those things kind of coupled together is the reason why I stopped taking it. I do think I want to go back on eventually because I know it is an important drug. It's one of the first, ever to be introduced to the PKD community, and I know further down the line, dialysis and kidney failure is a potential thing in my future. So I kind of want to, make sure I'm doing everything I can to avoid that. So I think for right now, I feel well, but who knows, right? So I do think I need to jump back on Jynarque eventually. So now I'll get into some of the questions you guys were asking me, and I tried to reply to some of you guys here and there. I know it's been a year plus since I posted that video, so I apologize for not getting to you guys sooner, but here we go. So first question, what are side effects of Jynarque? If you go to any doctor who recommends Jynarque to you, they'll tell you first and foremost just the amount of going to the bathroom or urinating. I think for myself, in the beginning, I was probably going maybe like 6 times a day, maybe more. It's definitely something that can be irritating if you are someone who works an actual, the job where you have to move around, where you don't have a bathroom readily available. So, that point, that side effect right there is a no-go for some people. But, that's one of them, urinating. Second is dry mouth. You'll definitely feel that feeling of when you wake up in the morning and like you just need some water. Your mouth just feels super dry. That's definitely a side effect. I guess, and that relates to the dehydration. So I think that's one of the things that the drug does to you, is it kind of dehydrates your body, so you feel like you need to drink more. So I guess some people have reported they feel more fatigued or a little more tired throughout the day. So yeah, I think those are the main 3 kinds of things. Oh, and then of course, like sometimes there have been reports of liver damage or liver issues because of the drug. So that's why they do recommend you take a blood test once a month, just to kind of keep tabs on it, make sure everything's good. And I think that's one of the requirements to be on Jynarque, is you have to agree to those blood tests. So you are still required to do blood tests once a month, regardless of however long you are on Jynarque. But I think for me, it was the doctor visits. So in the beginning, it starts off maybe like once every 2 weeks, then once a month, and then once every 4 months, or then once a year, something like that. So yeah, those are the main side effects of Jynarque. So the next question is, what has your experience been on Jynarque? Um, I think mine has been pretty good considering all things considered. I mean, I've read some of your comments about, things you've gone through. And I think, yeah, at the time I was working at a job, pretty much a desk job where I had access to a bathroom the whole day. So I got into a rhythm of, when I should take the dose, right? So if I took it in the morning, I knew, I actually, yeah, if took it in the morning, that wouldn't work out because I was sitting in like an hour traffic driving up to Connecticut. So, I knew, okay, that wouldn't be a good time to take the dose. But if I took it the minute I got into work, I would be right next to a bathroom. So things like that, you kind of just have to get used to how to schedule your day. But once I kind of got a routine down, I think it wasn't too bad. I was, yeah, going to the bathroom, pretty often, but I kind of just told myself that that's a part of being healthy. You're cleaning out your system, you're drinking more water, which is always good, and you're getting rid of toxins, and you're trying to, just maintain your body a little more, right? And I think in general you should drink, I think maybe about like half, like either your full weight or half your weight in water a day anyway, or 8 cups of water, something like that. So a lot of water. So that was my mindset going into it, was just, this is healthy, regardless of taking the drug or not. It's just a healthy habit. So I was telling myself that. Yes, it was annoying. Yes, it was, kind of a pain in the beginning because you do have that dry mouth. You are always feeling thirsty. Sometimes water wouldn't even do it for me. I needed like just something more to satisfy the thirst. Overall, it was a positive experience. I think there were, little annoyances here and there, like the once a month blood tests, the, going to the bathroom. But I think in the grand scheme of things, right, like you're trying to avoid dialysis, you're trying to avoid kidney failure. I think if you have those things in perspective, those are much worse things than, what I was going through. I also have to mention, so personally, I am very, I think, health conscious. So I eat very healthy. I try to work out often. I wasn't really giving up too much in terms of, you know, lowering your sodium and alcohol, things like that. So I know for some people, they tell you to limit your alcohol, limit your sodium intake. So um, and some people can't. They need that glass of wine or they need a beer to kind of ease through the day. But yeah, so I think I didn't really have to give up any of that stuff because like I said, I do eat pretty healthy, and I don't really drink too often, so I didn't have to make a huge adjustment in my lifestyle. But I know some people do, and it's hard, and I get it. But yeah, for me, um, the experience, I guess, yeah, wasn't as hard as other people might find it. So the next question: how much water did you drink in the beginning, and did it go down over time? It did not. I think even from the lowest dosage, I think which is like 15 milligrams, you still felt like at least like half a gallon of water, if not more. I think, yeah, the thirst just stays with you. It never really went away. It was one of those things that you, I think the thirst is always there, but I started to pee less, if that makes sense, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, so I was able to drink more, but I was able to, I guess, limit my bathroom visits to be less often. So I think that was what helped me, and I think that's what made it easier over time, right? Because yes, like you're drinking more water, but I think the annoying part is going to the bathroom, right? Having to stop what you're doing and just go. And that's what made it, I think, more tolerable for me, was just limiting the bathroom visits. And I think, yeah, that just kind of happened over time. It's something that happens really quick, and I think, yeah, just the thirst is always there for sure. I was drinking like, I think even, yeah, like 15 milligrams. Started out drinking probably just like, you know, um, I want to say maybe a little less than a gallon, maybe a little half a gallon or more. But once I started to ramp up, then I was definitely drinking a gallon or more of water. And it's good, it's healthy, but it was just definitely different. Something to get used to for sure. Question: is this really helpful for PKD patients? And I want to say yes, because there hasn't been a drug for polycystic kidneys as far as I know, and as far as my research has told me, and my doctors. Like, I remember going to PKD rallies and walks, and there was a guy who he was one of the speakers, and I just got into talking to him, and he mentioned Atsuka, which I think is the company that produces Jynarque, and he was telling me, yeah, like, there's this new drug, and they're in the works with this new drug, and we're really trying to push it so the FDA can approve it, blah blah blah. And this was this was probably like a couple, at this point 5 years ago, and this is that drug. This is that drug that he was talking about. So I know that it's a pretty big step in the right direction for PKD patients. And is it really helpful? My doctor told me that it doesn't get rid of PKD entirely, but it slows the rate of kidney failure by almost 10 years. So you figure you get 10 years back from when you would have started dialysis, or when your kidneys would have failed. So take that as you will, but that was something that I wanted to take advantage of, and hopefully maybe when I'm older we'll have an even better drug. But I think anything to prolong that dialysis, I think that was something that I was definitely interested in. And it's up to everyone's tolerance, right? Like, is that a good enough reward for going to the bathroom all the time and having to drink a lot of water? It's up to you. But for me personally, it was something that I want to take advantage of. Next question is about price. So how much is it? So I have health insurance, so they went through my insurance. I know initially it was, I guess, a little bit of a kind of a tough situation to get the insurance approved, but I think if you have PKD, your doctor can make sure that it's approved for you, and they can do all the fighting with your insurance for you. That's what my doctor did, and so I'm not sure about the price. So I mean, it probably differs for everyone, but I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the pharmacy that they hooked me up to charged me $10 per dose. So, and that dose is supposed to last you, I think, that one box, or no, they sent one box that had 4 slips in them, and I think that's supposed to last for like a month, so $10 a month. So, not terrible, but yeah, if you don't have insurance, could be a little more pricey. This is a good question. What happens if you stop taking Jynarque? What if I miss a dose? So I'll tell you, I would purposefully not take doses on certain days, and my doctor would understand, and he almost encouraged it, because there are things in life where you just won't have the time to go to the bathroom, or it's just you need to do something, right? And having to go to the bathroom would ruin that occasion, or ruin that experience. So if I went on vacation, I wouldn't take it with me. If I was going out with some friends or on a date, I wouldn't take it. And that's just up to your discretion. You miss a dose, nothing's gonna happen. You just start again tomorrow. And it's not about it's not like a quick fix thing. It's like, after a prolonged period of time of taking the drug, that's when you really get the effect of it. Yeah, my doctor told me, it's not the end of the world if you miss a dose. If you do stop taking Jynarque, then you will have to, if you started at the 90, if you were at the 90/45, the highest dose, you stop for a couple months, your body just, it needs time to react to, getting back up to that higher dosage. So they do start you off going back to the 15/15 and then slowly working you back up. And that was something that was annoying for me. So another reason why I stopped taking was because, I was at the highest dose. I felt I was doing well. I had a good routine and didn't feel any, pain or any issues with that high dose. But then when I had the whole liver working out issue, my doctor was recommending me go down to a smaller dose or cutting completely. And then I would just have to start the whole cycle over again where, I would have to visit twice a week, once every 2 weeks, and then once a month. And it just felt like a lot, and I didn't want to have to go through all that. So yeah, I just haven't started back up. And I know I have to eventually, but long story short, not the end of the world if you miss a dose. If you stop taking it completely, then you will have to start up from a low dose and then work your way back up to whatever dose you were on. And the last question, so you are pretty young, Isnt PKD in more older patients? And I mean, I like to consider myself pretty young, but I guess I'm really not anymore. So I'm 29, and in this person's comment, they did say that there was, I think 30 to 40-year-olds have PKD usually, and I think it was. So my father had it, and we found it early, and I think my doctor knew that this is a good drug, and the younger you start, the better effect it will have. So I think that's why he wanted to start me so early on it, and it's definitely something to be cognizant of even if you are younger. If you're older, I think the earlier the detection, the better, right? So I don't have like an accelerated case or anything, but I just happened to have it. I knew about it early, and they have a drug for it, and I just got on it. So that's it for the video, guys. Thank you for all your questions. Let me know if you have more questions down in the comments, and let me know if you have ideas for more videos. Some videos I was thinking about making were tips on how to manage the thirst of Jynarque, or how to plan your bathroom trips when you're on Jynarque, or anything really. I think this is a good platform to people to learn about Jynarque and PKD in general. So hopefully we can kind of share our experiences, share our questions, and hopefully we can continue to have community and learn more about this, and hopefully just get rid of this terrible disease. So but we'll stick through it together. Thank you for all your support. I wish all you guys support, and talk to you soon.